Today, we're going to talk about a bass player and a lead guitarist who thought it would be a great idea to drive home from Montreal overnight in a massive snowstorm. But before we get into that, if you're a fan of a bunch of dummies playing thrash metal from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, please offer to sign the like button up to play at a local show with 17 other bands where no one brings an amp and everyone goes over their set times. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. In March 2025, Killotine would end up playing in Montreal at Le Beau. Now, the show would end up being a really great time. The crowd was super energetic and really into it, and everyone had a lot of fun. The initial plan was everybody would go up in one car to save costs, since they have to play in British Columbia at the Vaughan Metal Battle National Finals. They also have recording coming up in May. So Jesse thought, let's all get into my car. We can just drive. I'll drive us home the night of. We don't have to pay for a hotel. We're not going to have to pay that much in gas because this is a relatively small vehicle. Now, the plans changed a little bit leading up to Montreal. The singer Matt Fraser was going to stay in Montreal with his partner and enjoy the weekend, kind of go out and sightsee and hang out with their dog. James Beck ended up staying with a friend, Brad, who got a hotel. But Jesse Luciani and James McNeil both thought, wait a minute. I don't want to sleep on the floor of a hotel or in a chair or in the car. And, you know, I've done this drive a lot. Jesse had gigged for many years, so he's driven from places like Sudbury or Michigan. And in fact, he's already done this drive, this very exact drive overnight from Montreal. So as the night's winding down, the two of them get into Jesse's Kia Forte without snow tires and begin driving their 6-hour drive home. Now, all day leading up to this, there was a lot of signs about a snowstorm, about ice that was going to happen overnight. They were told about it from friends and family, as well as seeing a lot of it on the internet. But the two of them thought, okay, it's going to be a little bit slower than normal, but we're still going to make it home and it'll be fine. When they hit the 401, they noticed visibility's a little bad, but they were still joking with each other, kind of trying to make themselves feel better about how bad the weather actually was. They were joking, this isn't so bad. This is kind of okay. And once they hit a particularly long, dark stretch of the 401, they noticed, I can't see in front of the car. I can't see 3-4 feet in front of the car. There was trucks barreling past them, honking, and they were swerving all over, and the two of them were just glued to the road, trying to find the little lines in the middle of the road to make sure they weren't driving off into a field, a ditch, or even into the water. Finally, they decided, okay, this is bad. This is so much worse than it's ever been in a drive home from a gig. We've got to get off the highway. This is getting to the point where this is dangerous now. So they pull into a hotel parking lot and then decide, maybe we'll try going again. And so they start up, and now they encounter all this ice. So not only are they having massive visibility issues, now the windshield wipers are getting coated in ice, and they keep having to get out of the car and scrape it off, and they run into some people in parking lots that go, where are you guys going? And they say, we're going to Niagara. And they just laugh at them and say, good luck. So they get back in the car and they start going. And then Jesse's partner Candace calls and suggests, why don't you idiots just get a motel or a hotel for the night? I'll even pay for it. Just don't drive in this. It's so dangerous. But Jesse and James thought, you know, there's this little service road next to the 401. Let's go on that for a little bit. So sure enough, they get on this road and everything's going great. It's going great for 2 hours. And then Jesse starts to realize, I think I'm getting stuck in the snow now. I think there's been so much snowfall that not only have the visibility, the ice, now the accumulation of the snow is the issue for this Kia Forte without snow tires. So as they're going, Jesse goes, I got to get back on the 401. I have to go somewhere where there's been vehicles already so that we can hopefully get a path to drive. It would turn out while they were on this side street, Jesse started playing with the lights and noticed when he hit one of the options, you could see clearly. You could see everything ahead of you. You couldn't see all those massive snowflakes in the way. And James suggested, did you have the lights off this whole time? And Jesse's going, no. There's no way I had the lights off this whole time. Of course, Jesse just made up that there's this other option to the lights when in fact he likely didn't have the lights on when he went on the 401 initially, and that's why he had to hold down his high beams to see anything. But the issue was, of course, the high beams were now illuminating these massive snowflakes, and they couldn't see past that. So sure enough, they're about to get back on the 401. Jesse takes the ramp, he sees the vehicles clearing the snow, and they think, this is it, we've done it, we're on our way. And Jesse would take the wrong ramp and end up traveling 12 kilometers in the wrong direction. There was no other off-ramps for 12 kilometers, and they started seeing signs for Montreal, Montreal, instead of Toronto like they should be seeing. So sure enough, this was a pretty big low point in the drive. Quite frankly, might have almost been the end of Killotine altogether once Jesse decided, I'm going the wrong direction at 4 in the morning after we've been through this horrible experience. Finally, Jesse manages to turn the car around, they get back on the way, and it's all clear from there. Just another 7 hours to get them home at 10:30 a.m. Now, the most important part of this was the two of them were laughing the whole time in the car and listening to fun music like Frank Zappa and King Gizzard and just having a great time. And sure, Jesse was making James listen to way too much power metal that he didn't want to hear. But all in all, they had a pretty good time and a lot of laughs along the way. And what's important is the show was a ton of fun and they made it home. And it doesn't matter that Jesse probably didn't have his lights on.
Ah! Oh my God! We're in Montreal, this awesome, cool place! Ah! In the end it all goes away. How I feel, what do I say? In the end all goes away. How I feel, what do I say? In the end all goes away. Hey there guys, Matt from Killotine here. Me and the boys just wanted to do a shout out video about the speed trap show that we did at Lebeau in Montreal. Man, where do I start? What a night. The energy was off the hook, man. It was just crazy. There was always something going on. People were losing their minds. People were hanging out, having an absolutely good time. Every person in that place was going off, like 10 people going off. It was absolutely crazy. Everybody who had everything to do with that show, we want to say thank you. We want to thank Viridian Cult, the promoters putting on the Speed Trap show. We want to thank Spider and the guys at Lebeau for being our hosts and letting us run an absolute muck in that club. Oh man, what else? We want to thank the bands. We want to thank the other bands that we were playing with. We want to thank Samurai. We want to thank Spirit Unbound. We want to thank Black Absinthe for being the absolute powerhouse that they are. And obviously we want to thank everybody who came out, all the fans that came in and just let loose and went absolutely mad. What else can I say? The club was actually absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe we played in a place like that where you have guys losing their heads in the pit moshing, and then right up above us there's a balcony where everybody else is watching from above with their feet dangling. Crazy. Can't wait to come back to Montreal. Can't wait to play another show at Lebeau. Can't wait to do another speed trap gig. Stay metal, everybody. Keep supporting metal. Keep supporting your local bands. Stay heavy. Ah!